Trump voting farmers in Pennsylvania are apparently fed up with the labor shortage that their president that they voted for caused. Okay, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the U.S. agricultural workforce fell by about 155,000 workers, about 7%, between the months of March and July, just of this year. Now, the Pew Research Center found that total immigrant labor fell by about 750,000 from January through July. So this year, I mean, we have just seen a massive exodus of migrant workers, okay? Migrant workers who overwhelmingly worked in the agricultural sector. So that's not a good sign, considering how, again, the majority of agricultural labor has been performed by immigrants, both documented and undocumented. Now, to be fair, even if they had the workers, these farmers would also no longer have the markets, thanks to Donald Trump and his trade wars and his tariffs. So, that said, those things, both of them are putting the squeeze on farmers like John Painter, a 3-time Trump voter. In fact, he said, quote, "The whole thing is screwed up. We need people to do the jobs Americans are too spoiled to do." Ah, yes, Americans too spoiled with fairer wages and steady work to do farm labor. Here's the funny thing. I've talked about in a different segment here some time ago that in the 1960s they did a program to take all these these students, people that are athletic, high school students, and put them to work in the fields. That and to replace the immigrant labor. How'd that turn out? It was a spectacular failure. Okay. The vast majority of these students walked off the job because it was hard, because it was very low paying. I mean, here's the thing about farm labor. Not only is it incredibly difficult, 12 to 16-hour days in the grueling heat 7 days a week for not a lot of cash, but it's also seasonal. Okay. So you're working your ass off. Okay. You're doing that for like 3 months, 4 months at a time. Okay. And then once the harvest is over, that work is gone. You're no longer going to make any money. No work until the next harvest. Now, how are you going to survive? Well, you don't. And according to people like John Painter and some of these other farmers, well, that's not really my problem. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I just need you to pick my veggies till I don't need you no more, till the harvest is over. Then I don't give a damn. Oh, all right. Well, now here's the thing, though. Okay, here's the thing. Obviously, the work does need to get done. Obviously. I mean, dairy farmer Tim Wood, for example, a member of the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau Board of Directors, said, look, people do not understand that if we don't get more labor, our cows don't get milked and our crops don't get picked. Now, dairy farms work kind of differently than some of the other farms because they do work year-round, okay? But some of the other farmers, they're still seasonal, and that's a big problem. And I've worked myself for a dairy farm, and it is difficult work. It is very difficult work. It's very physical, and again, pretty low paying. But anyway, those facts, perhaps, and I'm just, and people are going to get mad at me for saying this, but perhaps you should have thought about those things, those considerations before voting for the mass deportation candidate. I mean, it's not like there isn't a reason that farmers turn to undocumented labor. They do. And for one, there is red tape. There is red tape in hiring. People who are, not undocumented, people who are legally allowed to work here through the various visa programs like GH2A, for example. But here's the other thing. Labor costs. Yeah, so there are people that do not want to pay those labor costs to bring people over on those H-2As, which does cover seasonal farm workers, by the way. They're expensive. And so farmers are like, I'd rather do, the undocumented workers. I mean, Painter himself has admitted that he knowingly hired an undocumented worker. Okay. In fact, there was a couple and their family. So this couple from Mexico, he was like, oh, you're undocumented? Yeah, bring your family. Come work for me. For the last 2 years, by the way. Now, what happened to them is, well, the husband got pulled over, was handed over to ICE, and then deported. So, and this is after he ended up spending about a year in detention. Okay. Now, his wife and children, of course, followed him. Obviously, they went with their family out of the country. So he's gone. Now, this guy says, look, I understand that he was here illegally, meaning that you, again, knew that and hired undocumented labor, which should be, I mean, you should get in trouble for that, but of course you don't. You don't get in trouble for this. The worker gets in trouble for this, leaving these farmers a loophole to where they hire a bunch of undocumented labor and then get mad and vote against undocumented labor. So, I mean, there you go. But anyway, he said, I understand that he was here illegally, but I also understand that he's human. They want the American dream and they want to work. Wait, hold on. Where was that understanding at the ballot box? Where was that understanding? Because yes, he's right. They are human. They do come over here. They're doing very difficult work and for very little pay. They're working hard. They bust their asses. I've worked alongside them before. So I know from personal experience. Where was that understanding? Where was that? Where was the understanding that they're human beings before you voted for the mass deportation guy? I mean, come on, man. Now, Painter, after losing his worker from Mexico and their family, eventually did hire another couple from Guatemala, but said, I'm very disappointed in Trump's immigration policy. Oh, is that it? Now he added, if they're here working and paying their taxes, which the mass majority of undocumented immigrants actually do, they do pay state and local taxes. Okay. And so that's what we're talking about when we say that they pay taxes, right? They do pay their taxes. And in some cases, right, in a lot of cases, they also pay into things like Social Security. They'll never get anything back from it, but they pay into it. And they floated up our system and, again, don't get anything for it. But Painter said this, they are not the troublemakers that we should be focusing on getting rid of. It's not right what they're doing. All of us. If we look back in history, including the president, we have somebody that came to this country for the American dream. Well, here's the thing. Trump said that this is what he was going to do, mass deportation, and now he's doing it. Yes, but you don't understand. He said he'd only go after the bad ones. True, he did say that. But did you notice? You might have missed this one. In fact, pretty sure that you did. Did you missed the fact that he considers all of them to be the bad ones? So, from his perspective, he's not lying. I am going after the bad ones. I just think they're all bad. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, look, it's no secret, if you pay attention, that he was intentionally demonizing all non-white immigrants. So that's what he was doing. And this guy apparently refused to see it. He refused to see it. Where was this understanding before? Where was this empathy before? Simple. It wasn't there until Trump's actions started affecting you. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.